lately. Haven't got a chance to get dressed up. I've really kind of been in sweatpants mode for a while, so it's nice to actually put some real clothes on for a change. Other than that, though, I am really honored to be here. That a class that I had, 5 or 6 years ago, thought enough of me to come up here and speak on their behalf. And while I won't be able to mention everybody in my speech, I just want to go over just a few of the memories that I remember from class or after class, like in the past few years, just from communications with these students. I will say, full disclosure, a lot of these memories are from like 6 years ago, so if they're not entirely accurate, just kind of let it slide. So this class was a really important class for me because I felt like it represented the gold standard for me as far as collaboration and understanding and justification in my mathematics classroom. And I had 3 ladies in my classroom that really exemplified that a lot. Lauren Wegman, Franny, and Emmy, I remember, sat in the back trapezoid table I had in my room, and they worked so hard to figure out all the difficult mathematical tasks that we did. And yeah, I see Patrick kind of hanging his head smirking back there. I did say Franny, so just so you know that anyway. But I think these 3 girls were really important for me because it really effectively helped me create the new normal in my classroom as far as how high the bar needed to be set. And I really think that everybody else in here and everybody else that I've had since then has really benefited from those 3 girls because it's kind of adjusted my lens as far as what greatness looks like. Next 2 I'll mention, I put Marissa and Bethany down here. I always thought that they did a fabulous job in my class, but my favorite part about them was they, for some reason, thought I was a good listener, I think, because they liked to come in after school and vent about different things that were happening at the school. So apparently I looked like somebody that liked to listen to that, I guess. Although I know that sounds funny, it is, I think, as a teacher, as an adult, I think it's easier to dismiss a middle school student or a high school student when they come in and talk to you and seem irritated or upset about something as maybe just not thinking the situation through, or just not maybe being too young to understand what's actually going on. But I really value those conversations because I think for me, I think that middle school and high school students, they're really honest and they're real, a lot more real than adults are a lot of times. So I think it really helped me become a better listener. Sometimes I did think, though, they came in to talk with me about other people. I thought maybe they had somebody out there that they were talking to about me at some point. Maybe they just couldn't say it to my face, maybe. But then I wasn't sure about that because I looked back in my, I have like 50,000 emails, just, I haven't deleted any of them. So I found an email from Bethany, and this is really funny, I think anyway. So just cut her some slack because this was from 6th grade. But she said, and I'm just going to quote this here, she said, "Dr. Edwards is my favorite teacher in the entire world, and I hate teachers," is what she said. So I felt pretty good about that anyway, so that was good. So Joe was up here, and he's going to Harvard apparently, but that does not mean that he is good when you take him out to a restaurant. I had our math B team, and I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but we went to Famous Dave's, and he insisted on ordering not 1, but 2 kids' meals at the same time over there. So think about how embarrassing it is for me to have, not a grown man, but like a 7th grader or whatever, order 2 kids' meals. And we have a lot of rational people on that math B team, but we were trying to talk to them about how, if you just buy 1 big burger, it's bigger than the other 2, it's cheaper. But then I figured out it was just all for the sleeve of Oreos that you get, so it was all good. Speaking of the math B team, they tackle a lot of tough challenges during the years that I had them. And one of the toughest challenges they tackled is they helped me out with Valentine's Day. So it was Jack, Adam, Joe, Andrew, and Ethan. Each year for a couple years, I would give them $5 to go into Target or Walmart to buy my wife a Valentine's Day gift. And they bought really random things, but I thought they did a good job because I have not got booted out of the house yet. This is one that I'm sure that Kaya doesn't know about, but she really helped me out with an interior decorating issue that I had at my house. We have this couch that's really comfortable at our house, but it has like 18 throw pillows on it. And I don't know what, my wife says they're decorative pillows. I don't know even what that means, but the point being I can't sit on the couch anymore because it has so many pillows on it. So I took my daughter to the track meet a couple years ago, and we got to watch her jump in a couple events. And then when we got home from that track meet, it was really neat because my daughter, unbeknownst to me, cleared off all those pillows, and she lined them up. And now, like, every single day it's been kind of a staple in our house. She long jumps over those pillows, she broad jumps over those pillows, she hurls those pillows. So it's really been a good thing for me because not only can I sit on the couch now, I can sit on the couch and watch her exercise at the same time. So I appreciate that kind of. I also learned a lot of students in this class have a lot of varying or different interests. Vasi really likes racing. And Vasi really tried to get me to like racing when he was in middle school. And so I even got to the point where I would listen to the race results on the way to school just so we could have a nice conversation about it. I think he liked Ty Dillon maybe or something like that, but to be honest with you, that's the only racer's name I know, so I'm hoping that's who it is anyway. Vasi, I'm sorry, I really haven't watched racing since. I really wanted to like it, but it's terrible. But at least, Vasi, I knew that you liked the Bengals, so at least they're good, so you got something to look forward to this year. I also will mention an interest that Anessa has. She had a lot of animals, I remember. And so I think at one point she might have had maybe a peacock, I think a zebra maybe. It was really, I really enjoyed talking with her about these because she had a real passion for those animals. And I think it really helped me see that all of these students, you know, I mean, they're here at school and they're in school mode, but they have a lot of different interests. And it's really nice to be able to get to see what they're like outside of school and what they like to be able to do. I wrote down Alex, Braden, Wesley because they come to a lot of the Pokemon tournaments that I have. And, you know, I really appreciate those three guys just because they are such good role models for the younger kids that come to those Pokemon tournaments. There's something pretty funny about having 7-foot-tall Alex Christie trying to explain how many turns poison lasts to a 4-foot-tall 5th grader. But he really did try. He tried every time he was there. So sometimes those 5th graders are tough to deal with about Pokemon anyway. One of the biggest high school highlights for me was the Beauty and the Beast musical, which a lot of these students actually participated in. And I really appreciate Lauren Burrow's performance. She did such an outstanding job. And her kindness afterwards, she took a picture with my daughter, which I know she always remembers. Now we have an official Belle yellow dress at our house now. I told Lauren Wakeman a few times. We've got the Mrs. Potts action figure here, so I do actually have that. Funny though, we don't have any Gaston toys. So Austin, she didn't think a lot about your performance anyway. I thought it was pretty good. She didn't care for it that much. Also, I know that we've had a lot of students move away from this class, and I couldn't remember everybody, but like I saw Wild Willie a little earlier today. Warnell, Ethan, T. Hooker was here back in 6th or 7th grade. Caleb Akins, I almost forgot about him, but he was the man, I remember that. I saw Malaya here today, that was pretty neat to see. And it's always sad when you lose some students, but you know, it's nice because, you know, I'm looking around and there's a lot of people that I don't know here. And I'll just talk a little bit about Mr. Homecoming. I've talked to Connor on quite a few occasions anyway, and while I did not have him for class, I did appreciate him always coming up and talking with me and having a conversation, even though he didn't know me from anybody else, but I think that really sums up the entire class. Just a very personal bunch of students. I remember a funny story about Connor, where he couldn't bowl in the district meet, I think it was, districts or regionals. And he told me this, and he had a smile on his face, so I didn't really know him that well, so I thought maybe he got in trouble or something, he couldn't bowl. So then I asked Carly the next day about it, and she said that he wasn't in trouble, he was just bad at bowling, is what she said. So, there's a lot. Now, I think you'll like this one. This really isn't a student in the 2020 class, but she's probably just as much of a part of the class as any student out here. I see Susan's up there, she's got the video camera, and she's taping. Yeah, you can give her out. So Susan, I will just say to you, if you ever get around to watch watching all that footage, just invite me over, please. I would love to watch that. I have so many unanswered questions about Joe that need to be answered. And so to kind of close here, I would feel bad if I didn't at least share some actual wisdom during this. I would just say, I know this sounds simple, but I would really, for you, strive to find a career that you really enjoy. All of you are so young, and you have so many great years ahead of you, and it would really be a shame if you got into something where you were working for the weekend. There will be a lot more work days in your life than weekend days, so I urge you to enjoy every day you can. I can honestly say that from my perspective, I live that on a daily basis. Most days for me are not easy days, but I always get the opportunity to work with such fine students as yourselves, which I find immensely rewarding. Sometimes I do cry myself to sleep at night when I see that my student loans won't be paid off till 2038. But all those extra years of prep were really worth it. I do get to wake up every day and I enjoy what I do. And because I enjoy what I do, I'm driven to get better each and every day. And it may take you a while to achieve what you ultimately want to do. Please be persistent. A few years of making sure you're able to do what you want to do in life is much better than a lifetime of doing something that makes you miserable. I will be excited to see where life takes you. Finally, I don't know, did you put the title of that on there? Did you? You did. Well, my title was actually Jensen Clapp, is what my title was. So I do have some key words for Jensen Clapp. You're going to Warburg, is that right? Somebody informed me of that. So I'm always kind of looking out for you in the back. Like, you don't know it, but I'm always looking out for you in the background. So I called up the registrar's office at Warburg the other day, and I just wanted to, figure out like which classes are you going to be successful at, which are you going to need a little bit of help at. And I found out in your second year there at Warburg, you're going to be taking this literature class. And I kid you not, 50% of the grade in this literature class is AR points. So if you need to think about transferring now, I would make sure that you do that. But if you stick it out with Warburg, just understand that you can't read Hank the Cowdog for every single book. Make sure that you have a plan B. I appreciate everything that the class of 2020 has done for me. I have learned a very lot from these students, and I appreciate all your efforts and hard work. Please, everybody, join me in giving the class of 2020 one more round of applause.